Hello and welcome back to Pine League. We are here in round one, match two of today, the final match of today. We once again apologize for the delays, but we are here now with the Upholders versus Asli Enaak match. My name is IRequestADuel, otherwise known as Daltabaka, and I am joined by SLlCE.
Hey guys, so this is match two for Pine League round robin between Upholders and Asli Enaak. So we are now back and the players are in the party right now. So we might be jumping into draft really soon.
Yep, and for those of you joining in now, we had match one of 1 second. Match one was Root of Rogues up against Team KDA. Team KDA taking 2 victories in that one, so scoring themselves 2 points in this round robin. And to explain that round robin format for those of you who don't know, it is where the teams fight for points, best of two each weekend, and at the end of at the end of 3 weeks. Well, I believe that's it. At the end of a round robin tournament, either way, the teams will then move on based on their point standings.
So right now we are looking at the two teams. They are about to fight each other. And before we went on stream, like I mentioned, look out for Jack Quartz and Philios. This is I think the two junglers are really what stand out in their respective teams, and we might be seeing a very interesting jungle matchup right here. And last week we saw Asli Ina getting third place against Team Serin in the Pine League qualifiers. And right now I feel that Asli Ina might really have someone of their level and hopefully they are able to take a win off Upholders, but we're not gonna talk too fast. We gotta see the draft and how it plays out for both teams. As Upholders have some really good mechanical skill players, and I wish both teams all the best.
Yep. And as previously mentioned, over on the side of Upholders, we have Philios, Soragos, Delusion, Jalal, Tyke, and Lagmaster. And for the side of Asli Enoch, it's Lord Dejal, Son of Zeus, starting from zero, IQ Bell, Jack Quartz, and Vin Diesel F2F. So yeah, with that, as we mentioned, I think the draft really, it's hard to say. I would like to say the draft matters, but as proven by Team KDA, you can throw some kind of disparity, some random picks in there, such as the Rome Tony and Rome Inara that somehow worked out for them. But for the most part, I think we'll be seeing fairly meta bans and picks. Speaking of those bans, I think it just drives home how important that Grumpjaw pick is and why Grumpjaw should be banned. But by banning Grumpjaw, it did allow Reza to be open in that second game, and I think Reza is still quite strong.
So right now, I feel that just now we have seen quite a bit coming up from Level, and then on both sides we have seen Reza. So Reza's a really good pick right now, and especially Jack Quartz Reza last week. He got so hyper fed that he was able to just snowball the game for Saruda Esports. But let's see whether Saruda Esports can pull off the same strategy here on Upholders, or will Upholders just ban out or take Reza and deny Saruda from that pick?
And we'll see here as the ban comes on through for San Feng. Not a bad ban for a side. I think either way he would be banned out within one of these 4 bans. There's going to be the Reza ban, as we just mentioned. And then in return, I oh no, I think Tyke, there's a possibility he could ban Magnus. Last I heard, Tyke does not really play Magnus. But they're going to leave it open. Maybe he's been practicing, considering the Grumpjaw ban, but oh, there's gonna be the Yates ban coming on through. So they do leave Magnus open, but could be up to Asli Enaak to actually ban out that Magnus.
So right now we see the ban on Yates and the ban on Baron on the side of Saruda
Okay, so
Esports.
Magnus left open, goes over to Tyke. And now, in response to this, I think we could see the standard Lance Yates. But the question is whether Asli Enaak want to play that standard type comp. They are hovering the Lance, they're considering it now. And we'll just see.
So
There's the
picks
Lance.
up Lance.
And I would assume Yates would be the follow-up to that. But who knows? We could see something different. I think it'll be very strong, especially against Magnus. Magnus has a tough time when being dived on sometimes. It's about his... Ooh, what is that? A Catherine? Oh no. Oh no. Grace,
Grace.
I don't mind.
Grace.
Catherine, I do mind. Grace, I can respect. But that does leave. Do you think Philios might instead? Why am I talking about the Yates? I didn't notice the ban over on A side. Oh, I'm blind. So that's
Hmm.
why we don't have the Yates Lance pick. We have Lance Grace instead. Still very good. They have good engagement there. Once again, AoE instead of AoE stun, like Yates has. Grace has AoE knock up. It's just not as good because she can't move while doing it. But still, you'll be surprised how many times they're able to land that in a team fight. That's going to be the Grumpjaw who managed to slip on through in the draft. Gets over to the side of Upholders. And they're also going to be
And
able to take
Lorelai.
up that Lorelei. And a support we haven't touched on too much, but is actually still fairly strong just because of her kit.
That's true. And let's see how Saruda Esports will respond to that. Picking up the Adagio third game in a row today. And we are going to see starting from zero, taking up the Adagio for Saruda Esports. And Vin this will turn to pick. They are deciding and Celeste into Magnus mid. What are your thoughts about Celeste versus Magnus matchups?
Um, it's tough to say. I think they're both very good laners. I think Celeste is going to have the upper hand early game, but Magnus will be able to, should be able to, depending on the positioning in that team, have success in that late game, especially with Grumpdraw and Lorelei frontline. So, and with a team that's trying to dive in on you, as long as Magnus is able to stay out of that, he's actually a fairly decent counter to that of Lance and Grace, who are going to be playing up in the front line. It allows him to easily land his stun and get his perk off onto them. So, yeah, it's tough. I think they're both really good. I think obviously the key factor that separates Magnus from Celeste is his ult, just the potential damage you can get with that. So, yeah, I would say they both have fairly good poke, and they have decent stuns. Celeste probably easier to land in most cases, but I'd say it's an even matchup for the most part.
So right now they are going into the match, and we see Jack Cole is actually picking up Anka right there, and then Filio's not playing jungle for his team this time. He's playing roam, but Sky jungle. The last time we saw Sky jungle, if I'm not wrong, in this tournament, it was Optimus OP. He was using it against Root of Rogues during the finals of Pine League qualifiers. So right now we see Zero picking up Sky Jungle against Saruda Esports, and there might there's a form of CC in every single member of Upholders. Like they have a way to kind of stun or slow down enemies that are engaging. So this might be good against the comp picked by Saruda Esports here, as Saruda is going for a bit more of a dive comp with that Grace and Lance.
Yep,
Let's
here we go. It's Upholders versus Asli Enaak. I'm sure you guys are well aware of that. And let's hope that all the players, hopefully their connection is fine. And Jalal, I appreciate that Sky pick. I'm gonna be watching him. I told him if he messes up, I'm gonna dig into him for it. Let's see. Goes for the Storm Guard banner start. Makes sense with Jungle Sky. So
Hmm.
probably going to be expecting a Frostburn first. We saw some Sky in WESG, but the casters there were definitely hating on it. Not going to be the case for me. I'm going to have hopes for Jalal playing on the Sky. See how it goes for them. But as for the rest of their team, I'm also excited to see the Magnus being played. The fact they managed to get that through draft and they secured a Grumpjaw for themselves. So already Upholders, their draft just looking so much stronger, in my opinion.
So right now we see Gilao just clearing their CP3 and like that strategy from Asli Enaak against Team Serin last week. So you just give your jungler the CP buff instead of the mid laner. Like both teams feel that their junglers need the CP buff more because I think maybe they feel that the junglers have the ability to rotate around the map a lot more early game than the laners, so they can help impact different parts of the map within a shorter period of time than say maybe the mid laner trying to rotate while he have to take care of his lane. So both teams just doing that right now, and some early skirmishes bring Lord Dijal down to half health right there. And we see Son of Zeus and Delusion bring each other so low in the top lane. And right now, not really much fights going on. And yeah, we are just gonna see how this plays out.
Yeah, there's going to be Lord Dejau getting caught out. Could be the first blood. The stun manages to land from the Magnus, but there's going to be the Anka coming in for the kill secure. And the core collapse onto Lau as they tried to go for the chase onto the Grace. Grace trying to back in the river there. Might get caught, but no, they managed to get out of there in time. So that's going to be first blood going over cleanly to the side of Asli Enaak.
So right now we see Son of Zeus just recalling in the bush, trying to get back. He's really low on HP right there, and Delusion is also quite low, but he's slowly healing back up with the Book of Elegies. So both teams are still being a bit passive. The goal lead on the side of Saruda Esports, Asli Enaak, has been 1.1k right now. And Vin Diesel getting chased down by Zilao. Zilao trying to get him with the 4 barrage.
Oh,
And
yes.
Vin,
Sorry. Vin Diesel almost going down there.
so right now, Vin Diesel has to back Lord Dijal trying to protect the turret with his half HP. Getting stunned up by Philios and using the Magnus stun trying to
Here
mark
comes Stein
Lord
from
Dijal.
Zera with the boots. If the Giffian wall gets the stun, but Vin Diesel not close enough just yet. Tight going low. There's going to be the kill secure. In fact, and Stein Zero really putting in the work there. And the damage he puts out already just as a weapon lance is pretty impressive, honestly. I think Lance, that's why we see him always within, especially on B side, being one of those first picks, is just he has that tankiness, he has the damage output, and I think his kit is just mostly very useful to a team with the Impale and the Giffian Wall, because it's all considered AoE stun abilities.
The thing about Impale, like the good part about it is you can impale someone, it's actually a good engage opportunity right there. And then his wall push really like basically he can either engage or wall push the enemy team while they are engaging to like prevent a bad fight from happening. And that's the good thing about picking up Lance for the side of Saruda Esports.
Yeah, here comes Lord Dejau down to the bot lane, but gets spotted out with the vision, so they are going to be able to back out this one. Now, see how they play this one out as Anka and Celeste also making the rotation down Whether Tyke is actually going to back off from the mid lane is a question, and Vin Diesel also staying up there for now. But there's going to be the engage for Impale onto Lau, gets pushed back there from above, catches out Jet Quartz though, and they manage to back off to the safety of their turret for now. So a 2v3 situation held pretty well for them, in fact. And I'm just wondering if Phelios here may be suffering from some lag issues as they are AFK in base. Oh, no, going to be coming back out. Hopefully not. And we'll see for now. The other lanes holding on fairly evenly. And they're still going at it down in the bot lane. It's time from Zero. Goes in deep, misses the Giphian wall. Death from above onto the back line, but doesn't really get anyone. And so I think now is the time for the rest of us, Enaak, to kind of decide we're not making any progress here. We need to continue earning gold, otherwise we'll get behind. And yeah, it looks like Phelios is lagging indeed, as they've kind of gone AFK there in the mid. So it's going to be up to Upholders to either Phelios gets connection back or try and win out a 4v5, which will be tough up in the top lane. That's going to be the top tower going down in favor of Asli, Enaak, Son of Zeus, taking that one. Pretty much just ignoring Delusion as he gets it. We can see Jet Quartz around the corner. I don't think he's looking for a fight now, just stealing the farm as it is. And back to the mid lane here as we see Vin Diesel going fairly low. Phelios trying to be up there with Tyke. They don't get the stun off the fish food, but they are pushing this wave into the tower with Lord Dejah and Vin Diesel already fairly low. This could be a good chance to get some damage onto it, maybe even pick up a kill if they're lucky. Tyke already level 6, could even go for the ult, but he's going to back out instead. Low on energy, I guess, deciding that is the better opportunity. Delusion going low to the Adagio, to Jet Quartz. He's going to get the trade onto the Adagio, but Jet Quartz was there to pick up the kill. And so right now, 1 to 3 kills in favor of Asli Enaak in this situation, and about 1k gold ahead for them, 18.8 over to 17.7. So slight lead in their favor as they are the only ones to have a tower taken down so far.
So right now, the match is slowly starting to go in favor of Saruda Esports, and as we see right now, bot lane, Zilla has rotated to a bot lane with Sora Ghost, maybe trying to find a fight against Lance. And I think Lance is really aware, and Lord Dejal and Jack Quartz are coming to his aid right now at the bot lane tower. So starting from 0, just hiding under tower, Jack Quartz catching out Zilla from behind, comes in and throws the fan out nice.
Yeah, there's going to be the re-engage onto the Gwen, but she uses Skedaut Galva and Pale, but does not get out the Holy Nova. Look at all the CC coming through. 5-man rotation down to the bot lane now, but here comes the rest of Uphold. Can they do anything about it? There's going to be Phelios getting caught out in the front line. Doesn't go down just yet, though, but a lot of damage going through. Tyke gets caught up in that Heliogenesis and Holy Nova. And the CC coming through from the side of Asli Enaak is more than enough. And I think it's due to the fact of the AoE CC they have makes up for the lack of needing to have CC on every single player. And it's a lot of hard CC, in fact. So they're able to secure a Ghostwing for themselves on their way out. And all of a sudden, 5-1. 23.2k over to 20.8. So now with that 2k gold lead ahead. And looking good for them, or 2.5.
Things are looking good for the set of Saruda Esports, making that 5-man rotation, getting a kill, and even the Ghosting buff. And now this Ghosting buff is gonna put them in place for the next fight to happen. At mid lane, as you see, like 3 members of Saruda Esports just trying to wait out for an opportunity for Upholders to either make an engage or a bad move.
Yeah.
So,
Right now, playing it fairly careful, fairly passive after that engagement. Just going to go and clear out their own jungle, and I was not even paying attention to that there. But Lance actually taking out Gwen, going to turn around onto Jalal, gets an impale into the Giphian wall. But Lau able to get out of there with the speed boost for now. But here comes another minion wave pushing on in. What can they do to stop it? No one else is there on the team to help back him up. And there's going to be the bomb tower soon to fall to Asli Enaak, otherwise known as Saruda Esports. I'm a bit confused what to call them here, as they did register as
Philios
Asli
is
Enaak, but
lagging.
you've told me their true name, their true nature, as we see now. Sadly for Upholders, they are down a
Philios
member
is
right now as
AFK.
Philios is suffering some connection issues. Let's just
Hopefully,
see.
we can get Philios back in game as soon as possible. His team really needs him now because without him, there isn't really a roamer to rotate between the lanes and help bounce back pressure when Saruda Esports starts applying pressure with their 2 to 3 man rotations.
There's going to be Delusion going in, gets the stuffed onto the Anka, oh no, the Grace, in fact. And are they going to go down? There's going to be the Holy Nova. Magnus gets him with the ult. No passive there, so there's not going to be the extended explosion. But there's going to be a kill in favor of Upholders. So, but now it is, I guess, better than nothing for them. We'll see Stein from Zero. Is he going to go into the enemy jungle here? Playing aggressive, catches them, trying to take their weaponry in, but not going to catch out anyone as they back out of that. They're going to just hand their jungle over to the side of Asli. Enaak, and the damage onto Tyke right there. Immense. He manages to get the A off with that passive B. Mark was down once again, landing the poke. And this is what I mean, the further late game we get, the stronger Magnus gets. And Magnus definitely still very much a ban-worthy hero. Still 17 seconds off of his ult, but Vin Diesel has theirs ready. Gonna launch the Solar Storm on through to pick up that kill, taking the mid tower, and as well as no mercy here. They're just gonna take the kill onto Philios as well, move their way onto Ghostwing. Actually,
Saruda
moving down to bot lane first. Cleval is half the team going to be taking Ghost Wing. They have the vision control inside, outside the pit, as well as the side bush. So fairly likely that they're going to be able to secure this one without any contest coming through.
So right now, actually, can I talk about what's going on in chat? Because apparently Wendy, which is Filios, he said he's AFK and TYK has requested restart, but we are not too sure about Hiti's decision. If Hiti is watching, maybe Hiti can make a decision.
I
But
don't think Hidi was in this match, in fact. So
Saruda Esports, I think they were well aware that Wendy was AFK. Wendy, which is Filios, I think they are well aware he was AFK, and they really went in for the aggression. I thought they were going to show sportsmanship by not killing him, but that wasn't the case. And
yeah, I
there
think
goes.
unluckily because we've already done one restart. Um, this hopefully they can fix the issues between the game moving into the next one. But I imagine for now they're just gonna have to try their best in a 4v5 situation, as we see Delusion, who should be the tank of the team right now, playing that Grumpjaw going in, but he gets mounted down. No way are they able to get near that Black Claw, and is gonna go over to the side of Asli Enaak.
So things are starting to look a little bit grim here for the side of upholders, and Asli not just catching that black claw. They know they are in a 5v4 situation. They just want to get the win here. They don't care that Phileas is lagging, and now they're just pushing down mid. They're trying to maybe get into a team fight as soon as possible.
There's going to be Lord Dajjal going in deep. Doesn't catch anyone out with a Holy Nova, but Stein from Zero tries to go in. Giffian Walls the wrong way. I mean, trying to push them back into the team, but not really able to. Either way, Adagio going to be able to pick up that kill for that team. And Tyke going in deep to pick up a kill. Gets a lot of damage off with that Spellfire. And Jalal going to be able to clean up there. The Celeste and Grace get taken down. Are they going to go for the chase? So Jalal up in that front line there. Going to be able to serious strike over onto Son of Zeus for double kill. This could be the turnaround. Philios now back in the fight as well, and the Black Claw not going to be able to take down that mid tower, so there's still hope for Upholders in this game.
So right now we see Philios is back, which is good news. So the side of upholders might be able to come back here if they because the goalie isn't really too big after all. Now it's just a little over 1,000, and the the chances of upholders coming back this game is still there. We just have to see whether upholders can finally get their team together this time, and this might be a turnaround for the South upholders.
Yeah, well, right now, gold only 1K behind, so Upholders done a decent job so far. We'll see how Felios's connection holds out. Jet Quartz diving in, trying to get that steal. Goes fairly low, ends up in the hands of Tyke. And they're going to start the ghost swing over here for Asli Enaak. And taking this one fairly quickly, looks like Upholders not really ready to respond to this. And so now it's just a kind of period of time where upholders need to make sure they don't really engage in a team fight unless they are certain they have the upper hand. And already being behind in terms of objectives, they really need to play this one safe. So you can see, meanwhile, Delusion up in that top lane left alone. He is pushing down that tower. Looks like or at least trying to push the wave in for now. Not going to be able to get the tower, and you can see the rotation coming up by Son of Zeus. Not going to be able to stop the back. You can see almost halfway through this Ghost Wing buff, so it's not too much longer. Maybe another minute left on it for the side of Asli Enaak, and we can see them trying to chase down the Magnus. Now, this is actually where Magnus has the advantage when they're all clumped up in these jungle routes, in the jungle, because they have to go down a specific path and they have to kind of stick together, honestly. So should be fairly easy for them to back out. And once again, Upholders doing a great job of getting these objectives around the side, or at least pushing these side lanes. But they are going to lose a tier 2 tower for tier 1. But still, able to get something rather than nothing in the situation where really Asli Enaak should be playing it more aggressive. They have the Ghost Wing buff, but they are respecting the Magnus late game, I believe. See that vision getting cleared out in their jungle now. Blackclaw going to be up in a second, and both teams back to even grounds for now. Oh, except it looks like Asli Enaak, they're ready for it. And Upholders should have learned with the Ghost Wing previously that they're going to go for it very quickly. Vision is going to get taken out in that bush. Will they push forward? Will they play aggressive? But no, it looks like it's going to end up in the hands of Asli Enaak once again. There's going to be aces high onto Jet Quartz, but it's not soon enough. Block comes through for Upholders as they try and back out of this fight. And there's going to be the Magnus almost catches out the Lance, but Gwen gonna get taken down by the Solar Storm, and Asli Enaak gonna push on through here, taking down the Lorelei alongside that. And now it is a 2v4, no, 2v5 situation. Lance being forced to back, however. They still have the Magnus, so it is possible they can keep this one going. But if Tyke gets caught out alone, it could be bad. And there's gonna be Anka diving in deep, tries to get the kill onto them. Not gonna find it there. There's no ult for the Magnus yet, so that's a problem. Sky gonna get dived on. They get taken out. Tyke's going to be next for double kill, the ace, and that's going to be the game. Although Upholders, I think, did a really good job to push through most of that game in a 4v5 situation. Asli Enaak showing no mercy there. Going to be taking that first point over. And look at all those 5-star masteries on the side of Asli Enaak. You could tell they were definitely comfortable with this kind of comp, with the kind of heroes they picked. So yeah, that's going to be a game 1, and hopefully we'll see the true strength of Upholders coming into game 2, because I believe we almost saw it. My problem with Upholders was whenever objective was being taken, they really couldn't contest it, or they weren't even really nearby to try and contest it, and it just allowed Asli Enaak to close out the game with a few dragons. So Slice, do you
So,
have the scoreboard up still?
oh no, scoreboard's up on your stream. I'm gonna pause it so you don't remove the scoreboard. So what I've what I'm seeing here is that the both majors has built Spellfire, and Spellfire I think right now is the most staple mage item to build, especially when you're just spamming skills and you just want a little bit more damage for every skill shot you hit. So Spellfire really a very good mage item right now, bought by both mage mid laners. And then we have Son of Zeus going for that weapon Adagio and starting from zero with the Tangible and Serpent's Mask. So, alright, about the previous match, the problem at one point was that Upholders didn't have vision of Asli Enaak getting the objectives. Like, they they didn't have vision. Like, some the Ghost Wing buff that they got, one of them, um I doubt that what's the T I keep forgetting. I doubt that Upholders had any idea that Saruda Esports Aslina was going for the Ghost Wing, and they didn't even bother contesting at all. They were just like, let's clear the farm, let's clear the lane. But all of a sudden, boom, you got Asli Ina with a Ghost Wing buff. And the next they we see Asli Ina just trying to push out their objective clear times here. Like they know they can clear objectives quickly at that stage of the game. So they just try to clear an objective as quickly as possible. And the downside for this is that upholders didn't have vision. So upholders will, like, even if they found out, most of the time it was like too late. And this really gave Saruda Esports the advantage. Either it was Black Claw for them to march down mid lane and apply the lane pressure, or whether it was Ghost Wing for them to go in for fights, especially when Philios is lagging and they have a good idea that they were against for they were in a 5v4 situation and they can just easily pick out kills out of upholders without their Roma. So that was well played for Saruda Esports. And I think on the side of Wendy, I won't say that that was a total loss for the South upholders. I feel maybe upholders could have come back or at least done better if their members weren't lagging, and we can't you can't really blame the players' skills for this because SCA server, the servers aren't really stable, and we will just have to wait and see whether hopefully next round it doesn't lag for the self upholders and they could perform better. So let's just wait and see as we are heading into the draft of round two.
And then, oh, here we go. Look at that. Smooth. Buttery smooth right there. Went to
Buttery
draft just
smooth.
like that. My connection, my laptop, 10 out of 10 IGN. Let's get into the draft here. Once again, Asli Enaak over on the blue side and Upholders on the red. But yeah, I guess we might touch back on that later, but just to wrap things up there, I totally agree agree with you on those statements of the state of Elo nowadays. And I think it's also due to a lot of those top players backing out and then what are known as boosted players. But let's see. We're in here. They go for the Magnus ban. That allows them to pick up the Baron on the side of Asli Enaak. I'm not sure if Magnus was what they banned last time, actually, or did we not get through to that stage? We might have actually, like, just quit. Yeah, we quit in the ban stage. So, Baron gonna be in the hands of Asli Enaak, and that's kind of scary, in fact. So, we're going to respond to that with the Lance and with the Lorelei. And we know they tried to play Lorelei before. It was Philios trying to play that Lorelei. So they know
Buff.
that it fits into their team comp well. They believe in it. They're going to go for it again. We'll have to see how this goes. The Adagio being hovered right now. Celeste, Reza. Reza's going to be the lock-in. Ooh, looking kind of scary on this side of Asli Enaak. And there's going to be the SLlCE pick, so already 3 very meta picks coming on through.
And now
And
we
they're
see
hovering the
Scarf.
Scarf. So that's going to be Tyke on the Scarf, as opposed to Samuel that we usually see in response. But no, they're going to take the Adagio away. It's a fairly decent pick as well. And once again, we talked about this when it was the, I think, an Adagio on the side. Adagio was playing with a Grace. It could be in the game before, actually. Yeah, Lance, Grace, Adagio in the game before. If you're able to engage with that, that's pretty strong. Similar fairy with you when you chamber CC together between Lance, Lorelei, and then let Adagio get into the front line. But look at this. It's gonna be the Samuel and the Celeste on the side of starting the side of Asli Enaak. And they've got the Fim for support. So that means we're gonna see a top Samuel, I believe. Top Samuel, bot Baron, mid Celeste, and jungle Reza. So what Upholders gonna do to respond to this one? Anchor. It could work fairly
Swap heroes
side of Asli Enaak. So let's see how this goes for them. My one concern is maybe the Scarf pick I'm not such a fan of.
I'm not such a fan of the Scarf pick either, because...
You know, they could have banned someone else, left that wasn't Baron, that wasn't Magnus, and then either Asli Enaak would have picked the Magnus or the Baron, but either way they get one of those picks for themselves. Because I was thinking in terms of mid, Magnus would play a lot better, and if they didn't, then they could always pick Celeste, and it could be Celeste v Magnus, which we said is a pretty even matchup. But Scarf, still not a bad pick at all. We saw how good the Dragon's Breath can be in team fights. Problem there is if he gets CC'd, if he gets stunned out by either Celeste or the Quibble into late game coming through from the Finn. But let us know in chat which teams you guys are cheering for. And
someone
Tyke,
said the in-game sound is loud.
You guys, you complained there's no in-game sound before. Now you complain it's too loud. I didn't even know there's in-game sound being transmitted right now. Let me see. Let me see when something comes up. 10 seconds should be the start.
The battle for
Okay,
Sovereign's Rise has begun.
It's because I don't have the same settings that I do for my stream. So I apologize. But hey, in-game sound for our final game of today. At least that's working. Something is working. But yeah, Tyke was gonna, not Tyke, SLlCE. Just reading things there. What I was gonna ask you is what you think. Look at that. Lance just goes in and half-house a Baron just to start. Oh my god. Which team do you think is gonna win based off draft?
Based off draft? Alright, that depends on how the game goes. If the game makes it all the way to the late game and Son of Zeus gets that full build, I think Son of Zeus might be able to burst down TYK fairly quickly. But at the same time, if Zidane plays this correctly and he manages to catch up squishy target after squishy target, Upholders is definitely gonna win this one. So it's just dependent on how good Sarada Esports can position themselves and how long they can last against Upholders. So
yeah, I think you mentioned Jalal on that, Anka. I think that will be a key part in terms of how effective can they be, how well can they synergize with their team when going into team fights. To not just dive in on the backline alone. Oh, Baron, meanwhile, in the bot lane. I just saw his health bar drop. Delusion might look for another impale, but it could just be a bait as Jet Court's nearby. And Delusion probably wary of that. He does have vision in the bush that just ran out. Jet Court's can go in and look at that timing on the Giffian wall. Well played there to keep them away for now. I'm just looking as Delusion gets dived on once again by Jetcourts. Jetcourts taking a fair amount of damage from that tower. Son of Zeus going to jump Jets on in, gets the double auto, now with the advantage in their favor. Delusion with no potion yet to really do anything here. Gonna have to consider backing off. It's Son of Zeus, that play! He backs out to try and act like he's just gonna go away, but here comes Zhalao for the re-kill. The trade is able to secure that fairly easily, I'd imagine. Eventually? There we go. Manages again with the Phantom Blades at the end of that. But that's pretty well played by Son of Zeus to bait him into that. Delusion really should have just gone back earlier in that situation. Now Lao with a very quick rotation up to mid lane already, putting the pressure down there. Here comes Reza. In fact, he's just going to stop the Crystal Tree and knows his team is fairly safe under the tower for now. Zhao in the front, taking it up, and he's able to land some decent damage and get out there alive for now. It's going to be a good bait for Jetcourts coming around the back onto Lagmaster. Should be able to pick up the kill, dashes in with the Troublemaker and finds the auto they need, but there's one more, gets them with the Scorcher, and that's going to be 2-1 for this side of Asli Enaak. Maybe easier to call them Saruda esports, but until I know, Lao not quite able to catch up to Zhao, but can Tai get it with this Spitfire? He does. Almost goes down to the tower though, but barely survives. And he needs to be careful of Jetcourts, who is roaming around. They have vision in that bush. Jetcourt's gonna go dive in with the Scorcher, gets the auto, but it's not enough. And now Jetcourt's in a dangerous position. Gonna have to back out from that one. And yep.
Lance in the bot lane, meanwhile, looking at Delusion, trying to chain Son of Zeus for damage. I feel Lance might be a good pick into the Baron, because Baron doesn't really have that quick of a mobility skill, and like you can land and heal, you can just do a lot of damage, especially that buff and Delusion misses his kill.
You theoretically can land an Impale. And I think it really works, as you mentioned, the passive by Lance. As long as he's facing Son of Zeus, he's going to get that reduced damage, so should work out fairly well in his favor. Gets the stun off, but doesn't land the Impale, and that's going to be crucial damage missing out. Pops the Halcyon potion. Able to back off before now. Looking over to the mid lane, the Diesel going fairly low, needs to be careful. One more Spitfire from Tyke could do it. Manages to get the goop as a Spitfire. Doesn't land though. Zhalao coming in, gonna dive on in, but Jetcourts sitting safe. And here goes Tyke with a rotation down to bot lane. Good timing on that one. Son of Zeus low on energy as well as pushed up, but he misses the Spitfire. And here's going to be the big gank coming on through. Lao and Lagmaster try join in. Jetcourt's going to try go for the counter attack. Never formed DNA used. They are going to back out of that one, however. And now we haven't really talked about top lane. Looking up here. Really nothing to look at. So back to anywhere else on the map.
So we are looking at Lord Dejal chasing down Lagmaster with his fin, and Lagmaster just able to get away. Lord Dejal knows he's not gonna be fast enough to catch up.
No, I was just gonna say for now it's even game, 2-2, even gold in fact. No one's taken a tower over either one, so this is a lot more of what we expected, at least looking towards the end of game one. The teams were definitely playing fairly evenly. It was just the fact that Saruda already had that advantage over Upholders. We'll see now. Lord Dejal fairly low, is going to attract a lot of attention to himself, but they have that vision up on the top side, so they'll see if Reza comes down for the gank. Right now just pushing the wave in, and core collapse on themselves. Vin Diesel actually trying to predict Zhalao going in. Zhalao goes in onto the tower instead, lands, the Spitfire is going to go on through, and they chase down Tyke, going to be able to pick up that kill. And it now leaves mid fairly open. Reza not really responding soon enough. So pressure being kept up in this mid. They should be able to take this one. Ion Cannon coming up through onto Ty, gets him quarter health off, and Jet Court's going to jump on in to pick up that kill. They don't get the mid tower, and I would say in that situation, maybe it would have been better just committing to it if they knew they were going to die or were likely to die in that situation.
Right. If you want to trade a tower that is dying but you're also dying, like most of the time it's more worth if you know that even if you try running, the enemies will still catch up to you and kill you. So it's always worth to trade a life for a tower.
1 second there.
A life
As we see Sora Ghost fairly low, but Lau's going to be up there in the top, trying to gank onto starting, gets caught out in the core collapse, needs to be careful. Solar Storm comes on through, almost catches out Sora, but they manage to back off. The smart play here would be Saruda if they decide to push the advantage in the top, but they're just going to let Adagio be safe for now. Jet Court's trying to take down Lagmaster here, gets the kill, and doesn't look like... it was interesting. Lagmaster... Ooh, the pull coming through by local down. Lagmaster had the ult up, but didn't use it in that situation. Delusion now. Spots out Quartz. Nothing he can do to catch him out just yet. So, oh, but Sora, who did stay up in that top, now being forced to back by Samuel, but Samuel fairly low as well. If anything, we're once again even, 4-4. Don't ask me how.
Well, both teams are really putting on quite a fight for each other. They are trying to trade, like make very even trades and trying to get the game flowing smoothly. But the problem with this is, at the end of the day, I feel the team that might be benefiting a little more might be Son of Zeus, if he could like prevent himself from getting busted down by Zilao, because Son of Zeus is playing Baron, and Baron, as everyone knows, is a late game hero. He needs to get to that late game, the full item build, in order for him to burst down really quickly with the jump jets and basic attacks. So this might be going slowly in favor of Asli Enaak, but we'll have to see whether Zilao can prevent Baron from bursting his team down and win Upholders the fights.
Yep, and we'll just see as Lau moving up to the top lane there, not really able to catch out Samuel for now. Lord Dejao, I think we mentioned this, he's level 7 now, 1 level off of that Quibble becoming a stun, something they have to be more careful of, and something we'll have to account for is the Forster Chord that he's able to use right now. Looks like Reza going in deep onto Lagmaster, gets caught out with the fish food, and they take him down. Lagmaster 1 hit away, and there's going to be the Dragon's Breath turnaround. Whether Celeste goes back in with the Solar Storm's a question, but they don't get the chances. Jilao's going to join in, but if I pick up the kill, they get the Finn as well. Stein from Zero trying to do what they can on their own. There's going to be Oblivion, doesn't land onto anyone, and they're getting pushed back. This tower in mid barely standing.
Son of Zeus really low.
Yeah, over meanwhile, Son of Zeus also getting forced out of his bot lane, is going to go back, and that's going to be a free Ghost Wing. They probably could have gone mid tower out of this one as well if, like, say, maybe Tyke had just used 1 Spitfire on it. But if they had, the question is, would have Jet Quartz come along a second in time to catch out that Ghost Wing? So I suppose you could say, luckily, they chose to make the right decision, and they could take this tower whenever they want, technically, but it would be just that much more gold in their favor. But now they have the Ghost Wing buff, they can play a bit more aggressively, and hopefully start to turn the tide in their favor. As we see, just after that one fight, it's now 4-7 in favor of Upholders. And they have 29.7k over to 27.7. So a 2k gold lead now. Fairly decent for them. But they just have to continue this going while they have the Ghost Wing buff. We see a lot of teams, they get the Ghost Wing buff, but they're not really able to do anything with it. Blacklaw is coming up soon, and they could consider rushing it. But I know it's a pretty even game up until now, so it would be a bit of a risky move. And it's Val forced a team fight, but looks like Asli Enaak playing it safe, not really looking for a team fight here, just trying to hold that mid, in fact. Let's see now. Not really too much going on other than mid lane. Getting pressured in. Lagmaster probably best to stay here, and they should be able to get the tower. There's going to be the Spitfire that gets on through. And now, as we mentioned, Finn does have that Quibble available. There's going to be the Fountain used to try keep SLlCE alive, and barely so. And over meanwhile, Reza gets caught out. Adagio going to get taken down. So that's going to be the trade there. Adagio left in a 2v1 situation. So at least being able to get the trade is actually worthwhile for them. And here they are, starting on the weaponry, and there's going to be the Ion Cannon. Oh, but Delusion gets in there with the Impale just in time to steal that one. So, Upholders, once again, they managed to make use of that Ghost Wing buff. They managed to get the tower. They managed to get some of the enemy's jungle. So it's more about just playing aggressive into the mid, capitalizing on that. Not just leaving with a tower, but also getting a bit more. Now looking down to the bot lane, Delusion gets the stun off onto Zeus, and look at the damage he's trading out into Baron. And you were correct when you mentioned that this Lance pick is actually pretty good into that Baron, and they get the stun off into the tower. There's going to be the Quibble, catches out Lance. They need to be careful, but Fish Food turns her around alongside the Dragon's Breath for double kill for Tyke, and they're going to go for the triple as they pick up the Reza. So Upholder really coming through strong in game number 2, especially it's once they took the lead, they're starting to really maintain it, but you know, we're only 14 minutes in, could be a turnaround late game, but so far Upholder's looking clean, looking like they have the synergy there, they know what the plan is. I'm just going to jump over to Jalal, who's getting chased down, and he does find the safety of Adagio. Meanwhile, the rest of the team going to be taking that Ghost Wing. And yeah, no one's going to be able to steal that. Could be wrong. Almost cursed that one. As Baron, no vision there. Just a very intuitive, I guess, what would be the word? Well, we'll leave it at that. Instinctive. Instinctive, that's exactly it. Instinctive to try steal that one. And they actually have 2 global ults, so whenever it comes to objective, they have double the chance of usual, in that sense, to get a steal. Even though it's pretty difficult to do anyway.
Right now we are looking at the 2 teams like the weaponry. So Upholders like data 4 members, and
looks like Zeus got it. Yeah. There's going to be the chase down as Lau dives on in. Delusion might go in with the Impale to follow through, but they need to be careful of the pull into the Oblivion. He gets the Giphian wall off, uses the block to make sure he doesn't get slept, and there's going to be Anka diving in deep alongside Scarf, who picks up the kill onto Baron solo. No one was expecting the Dragon's Breath coming around the corner, and that's going to be the Spitfire, just misses, but Vin Diesel gets caught in the Fish Food. Lorelei's going to pick up that kill, and that is going to be a 2-for-2 trade out. But still in favor of Upholders as they push onto this mid tower. But Jetcourt's stuck around. He's going to look for the kill onto Lagmaster. Lagmaster's trying to put the Fish through behind him in prediction, but it's not going to catch them out. Tyke with the damage, the goop, the kill. They take down the Reza, and Tyke 8-1 in 3, carrying Upholders right now. And really, you can just see what that team is capable of. We'll see the 1v1. One out by Sora up in that top lane. It's pretty difficult to do a Adagio, honestly. A lot of the time, you're not going to win if you don't have CC. So in Samuel's case, that's very difficult. But yeah, just seeing Upholders with a full team, what they're really capable of, and the control they have over this game so far. They're starting on the Black Wall. See whether the enemy team try and contest it. They know that they're taking it, but I don't think they're going to be able to contest that one. No Ion Cannon, no Solar Storm coming on through. In
I think
fact, Ion
Upholder.
Cannon not even up as we look at Baron, who's getting chased down by Delusion. Oh no, Delusion going in deep. He's going for the kill, trying to take down Son of Zeus, but instead gets slept and punished for the greed. Son of Zeus there with the emo, but meanwhile, in the mid, Blackclaw is pushing down their lane. It's a 4v5 situation, but as long as they get the poke damage onto the tower, they could leave Blackclaw to do the rest and just back out. Maybe back out through the red side jungle, try and take some of their way. That's going to be the fourth quarter misses. Looks like they should definitely be able to get the stair-free tower and then back out, as I said, leading out through the jungle. And in fact, they have that vision in the jungle ready, so they might just start the Ghost Wing. They will know if the enemy team's coming. Looks like they're going to buy a few items here, buy infusion.
Right now, we are looking at 813 Tyke, and the thing about this is, well, late game is slowly coming, and Baron is also slowly starting to build up, and we see Upholders getting a 5-man Ghost Wing run right here. Gonna be super useful for the next fight, because the next fight's gonna decide the game as the side of
At least for Upholders, yeah. They're in a position to end this one. And look at the vision placement Upholders have right now, especially on the bot side of the jungle. Decent vision on top side. They're going to lose that river cam just now. And in fact, Sora not going to be able to actually catch out the upper side of the river where Jet Quartz was. And is going to get chased down. It's probably going to be a kill over to them. But meanwhile, Celeste gets jumped on. Celeste is left alone. Jalau's chasing them down. They get caught in the core collapse. The dodge away from the Solar Storm. And they pick up the kill. Now moving on to Baron, who's left alone. He gets the jump jets over the wall. But Dragon's Breath for the turnaround. They don't get stunned out. They pick up the Baron. They go on to the Reza, who might be able to get a kill before he goes down, but no, not quite. And they continue the chase. They need to be careful of this Samuel, however. The AoE damage still needs to be respected with that Frostburn and Spellfire. But Upholders, a 2-for-1, actually a 3-for-1 in that situation. Gonna be able to push this lead even further. And I'm wondering if they're going to push into the base. Probably nothing they can do now with the respawn timers and the enemies coming up soon. But the game, currently 18 kills in their favor. 9 for Asli Enaak and 53.2k over to 47.7. So seeing about just over 5k gold lead in favor of Upholders. There's still a chance for Asli Enaak here to make a comeback. They just need to be careful about positioning. They managed to punish Sora previously, and it looks like they might again as he gets caught out in the Quibble, almost in the Oblivion. But he managed to block that one out. However, you saw Celeste got caught out, and I think that's a big part of Upholders kind of coming back. And we talked about this early game, that if Jalal on that Anka is able to get onto any of the squishy targets, they'll be in a bit of trouble, and it's kind of difficult for them. The only one that they have to protect their carries is Finn, yet everyone seems to be everywhere, especially with Jet Quartz, who goes in deep on that Reza. Lord Dejao has to decide, do I follow him through? And do I follow like Baron through with the jump jets and keep up with them? Or do I, like, who you're going to stay with? So I think it's about working on positioning. Whereas the side of Upholders have the Lorelei and the Lance, and even the Adagio, you could say, in terms of tank and sustain. There's going to be the Force Accord over the wall, but they all get stunned out, and there's going to be the massive turnaround for Asli Enaak. Solar Storm comes on through. Reza tries to finish off Delusion on that Lance. Double kill for the Baron, I believe, and they're going to be able to get that triple on to the Lorelei. Delusion, the last one up, is going to get aced. And what looked like it was Asli, what looked like Upholders were ready for the fight. Just intuition coming through from, once again, instinctive ults coming through from Lord Dejao.
On that bush.
Really? But where is it? How did they see? There was vision. Upholders had vision. They knew they were there.
In the 5, like just how I think it was the side of Saruda Esports, they had a camp that was almost dead.
Okay.
The side on that 5-man push.
Yeah, and
So
then Finn
they were
gets the
standing-
pull. I imagine it was into core collapses. Everyone got stunned as that pull came in. And now Saruda have a chance to turn this around. We'll see how they do there. They're gonna at least take one tower for sure. Oblivion on the backline, forcing out the Crucible or the reflex of Adagio, and they are going to back off after that single one. Instead, go for the Ghost Wing. Kind of a smart play here, making sure they're in a more favorable position for the fight to come, because that put things much more back on even playing fields. They're just a turret down to the side of Upholders. So, as I said like a second ago, they rarely had the opportunity to make a comeback.
So now we see Delusion taking a bit of damage, a bit of proc damage from Vin Diesel. And now we see Legmaster getting caught out. You see Reza engaging with the Legmaster. Solar Storm connecting on the Legmaster and he just falls down. And now Upholders is
yeah, this isn't good, especially while the side of Asli Enaak have that Ghost Wing buff. They're more than likely going to be able to finish off this tower, which is only at half health. The question is, are they going to go and dive on through further? Oblivion drops down, puts Adagio to sleep. Lots of damage coming in through from the Samuel. He gets a potion, manages to get out the Delusion, turning it around with the Impale. And there goes Tyke with the Dragon's Breath. Picks up the Celeste, but Finn. And they managed to save their base for now. Can they go in for more kills is a question. Do they want to? They're in a 4v3 situation. And they should be able to, but right now they should be happy that they at least saved their base. And they managed to really keep a hold of this game. Now is exactly, well, not actually exactly even. They have one turret above. But it just shows how strong that Dragon's Breath is. And look at the cooldown of that. It's going to be up by the next team fight for sure. Is definitely coming in big in these team fights. Tyke hasn't even gone for Dragon's Eye, so he knows he has enough damage, just base damage, which we see when he pokes people out. And then he's using it very aggressively and very actively. And it really just, it's something you've got really be cautious about. For the side of Asli Enaak, they've got to do their best to... Oh, I'm not sure if I caught that vision. They've got to do their best to chain stun him, because it's more than likely Tyke will block out the first stun that comes through. And there's going to be the War Treads for the side of Upholders as they go on. They separate Quartz, who gets Giffian walled. He should be able to get out there with the Troublemaker, and he also has the ult if need be. Jalal diving in deep, doesn't get punished for it, but there's going to be the pull onto Sora. They need to be careful. Lau goes on to Baron, picks up the kill. Fountain goes on through, but doesn't save the Reza's life. Finn will be the next to fall, and Upholders just going to clean this one up, but there's going to be the trade as looks like Anka gets caught out. So 4v5, Black Claw going to be up soon, but they don't need it. They're just going to go for this armory. They might even look to finish. Just depends on the damage they can get off, as there's going to be Delusion in a great position to get the Giffian wall onto the Celeste. Picks up the kill. There's going to be the game, more than likely, starting from 0, 4v1 situation. He might be able to pick off Delusion, but not even that. They managed to take the game 25-16. And that is 1-1 in that best of 2. Upholders really holding it up there. GG, well played. And that is what I want to see. I was excited to see this team play. And I was not disappointed at all in game number 2.
So right now, 1-1. 1 point each for Asli, Enaak, and Upholders. Both teams are tied. And this will be the end of day 1 of Pine League. So, builds-wise, I think they are both building really decent things. Jack Quartz again going for that burst CP on Reza. Like, he doesn't go for Aftershock. He just goes for that burst Shattered Glass Spellfire build. And then we see TYK going for Frostburn, just trying to get as many targets as he can get with that Dragon's Breath. So both teams played really well this game, and tomorrow we will be looking at two more matches for this weekend. The matches that will be streamed tomorrow will be Team Evil X against Team Fearless, which is the second match. It will be at 8:30 p.m. And then there will be Astro Esports, the top seeded team in this competition, against Neko Faction, the top seeded qualifier team. And they will be having their match at 7 p.m. So for those who are still watching, tune in tomorrow, and we hope to see you soon tomorrow. All right. So good night,
Yeah.
and time to watch WESG.
Yeah. Once again, thanks for watching. I request a duel. Joining me was Slice. And apologies for the delays. Hopefully we have a much smoother stream tomorrow, but you never know with SEA. So we'll have to see how things go with that. And yeah, till next time. Take care. Hope to see you then. Shout out to Heedy and Gator Rex for the organization of this, and shout out to all the teams that played today and for the teams we will see tomorrow. So don't miss it. You are probably going to want to see these teams play. I know I want to. So I'll be here. Slice will be here. Hopefully they'll be here. And hopefully you will be here too. So good night and see you
Shout
then.
out to most to IRequestADuel for their amazing cast. Good night.
Shout out to Hiti for his amazing voice. Hiti cast tomorrow.
Kappa.